it's concluding here tonight at Bonnie Field. A beautiful evening in Sacramento. I don't think you could ask for better weather, and that we've already got the roller coaster going up, so the State Fair just around the corner as well. But the excitement here tonight, it continues to sustain itself. And one thing we've seen, Kevin, you've been all around. You've played at the highest level MLS here, been in different cities. Have you seen a fan base really sustain this? I mean, from the Sounders in Portland and up in Seattle, and then you have the Timbers in Portland, those fan bases, is that right along that same path?
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about Portland and Seattle, and those two places are very, very special. The Pacific Northwest in terms of soccer. Rabid fans up there that just love the sport and love supporting the team. I think that what we've seen here from Sacramento, it's the same sort of passion, the same sort of energy, and the city and the communities absolutely open their arms and embrace these guys here in Sacramento. So I think it's got the potential. Here we are, like you said, it's the 6th or 7th game in a row where we're selling things out, and the city is still talking about it, and the city's still excited about it.
And we've got a couple other great matches now. 4 new friendlies added to this as well. An EPL match, we'll talk about that through the broadcast coming up as well. And here are the first pictures of tonight. The teams coming out, the UC Davis across the chest of the Republic in their maroon, and meanwhile the Arizona United with white, blue shorts and their yellow socks. And the one thing I always love about soccer, there's always a sense of a community feel, and here in Sacramento they're embracing it, but both sides seem to really embrace it. Now for Arizona, let's talk a little bit of strategy for the opponent here. They come into a different environment. They came into a hostile environment at Hughes Stadium, played very well, really controlled the match. It really wasn't until extra time they got slipped up a little bit. Bartolome made a great header, a pass from Rodrigo Lopez, and it was right there at the right time. But this is a team that's got some players, a lot of young players here.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it, or we will talk about it a little bit later, is the fact that we really want to see how our guys control the middle of the park, but they have some quality players on their side. Arizona does. Matt Castle is a player I actually played with when I was playing in New York, a very, very solid player, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys can combine in the middle.
And here, let's go to the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And that is Jennifer Betancourt with our tonight's national anthem here at Bonnie Field. Well, Arizona is 1-2-1 on the road. They have played 13 games so far this season. Meanwhile, Sacramento is 3-1-1 at home. They are clearly 1-0 here at Bonnie Field after a victory last Friday night, a 4-3 match, up and down. Lopez with 5 points of that match, but Mike Fucito, the energy he brought off the bench. Now, he is no longer on the team right now. He will not be coming off the bench, and that was a great loss because he is the guy who really gives you a spark. Who's going to be that guy tonight?
Yeah, I think we got a couple guys on the bench that can fill that role. Dakota Collins is a similar type player. Chad Bartolome as well. He's come in and filled in very admirably at the last tail end of the last few games Bartolome has. So we have a couple guys that can fill that role. I don't think it'll be too much of a loss, but Fucito did play phenomenal. I thought he was maybe my man in the match, to be honest, minus Roro after Roro's few goals. Fucito came in, brought that spark, but I think Bartolome and Dakota Collins can come in and do the same thing similar.
So we got a little bit of a breeze tonight. Wind starting to kick up. How is that going to play a factor?
Minor breeze shouldn't be too big of an issue, but it's a beautiful night here. It's a perfect night for some soccer.
Are you excited?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited as well. The Republic looking to make it 2 straight here at Bonnie Field as they take the field, get ready, warmed up. All eyes will be on Tommy Thompson tonight. The Granite Bay High School product graduated in just 3 years. The Granite Bay had over a 4.0 GPA, moves on to the University of Indiana to play with his brother. And I think after a year with his brother, he said, you know what, bro? I think I'm headed back home, but for a very good reason. He signs with San Jose Earthquakes to a 4-year deal. Obviously a big thing for an 18-year-old kid. They say, you know what, we want to get you some time. Here he is in Sacramento.
Yeah, he seems to be an old 18, if you know what I mean. I think he's got the maturity and some wisdom with him with those 18 years that he's had. And, you know, he's got his 3 brothers that have played with him grown up his entire life. He's got one brother at Indiana still, and he's got another brother at Stanford. So just his father played for the Olympic team back in '82. So it's just a polished family top to bottom. And a great storyline tonight to see how he performs coming back. It's almost his homecoming game here professionally. So it's super exciting to see.
Well, he'll be on the right side wearing number 16 there. And here is Justin Braun along as one of the captains tonight. And Matthew Castle is the captain for the Arizona United. And so it appears that Arizona will head south and the Republic will head north, as the Republic will be heading toward the Tower Bridge Battalion to start things off. So also Alvis Powell, we'll get to know him as well, just 19 years of age. Here's a lot of young guys getting some pretty big moments here as an early get-go, the inaugural year here for the Sacramento Republic, and we are about ready to get going. Justin Braun, Adam John up top. How much of a crucial those first 15 minutes, as you say, are very crucial. What's your key tonight?
Yeah, the first 15 minutes, as always, we've talked about it time and time again. They need to make sure they don't concede any goals. Be solid defensively first. Hopefully you can push forward and maybe sneak a goal in, but you got to make sure the first 15 minutes you're solid. I'm really excited to see how Lopez and Guzman can play together. Lopez is, Roro's been playing very, very well on the outside, and we talked to him before the game, and he said, you know, I feel like I finally was getting used to playing the outside, and now moved back to the middle. But this is a position that Roro's been playing his whole life, so I think he'll do fine in there, and I think it'd be exciting to see how he's going to match up with Arizona's guys, such as Matt Castle in the middle of the park.
Well, number 19, Octavio Guzman, the Chico State product, 5'10", 23 years of age. He's come off typically as a reserve role, but here tonight getting the start. He's a bruiser inside. I really like how he commands the midfield, and we're getting underway. And Arizona will try to speed things up. What they tried to do in the first matchup was really get things going, not able to spread the floor, push it over the top. Let's see if they can change it up here. Here's Mickey Daly and Rodrigo Lopez starting things off here in the first minute of play. And we'll see how Vukovic changes up, because he's now more in that middle back position, that left side, and not able to really run down the side of the field as he typically has.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Clemente on the outside and the left too. You know, he's predominantly not a left-footed player, more of a right-footed player. So put him on the outside, back in the left. It'll be interesting, and we'll see how he can fill in and how he does with that left-sided role today.
Daly's got to watch Valadez. Valadez able to get a couple times behind the back four in the first matchup here. They were out with Kadeem DeKers, who is really the team's leading point scorer here, and he is not in here tonight at the starting lineup position, so we'll see how they change things up. All eyes will likely be on Okafor and Chuma, but also Jonathan Top there as a whistle is blown, and a slow dribbler to Jake Gleason. The chance continuing here from the Tower Bridge Battalion. Rob McAllister, Kevin Goldthwait with you here on a night of soccer at Bonnie Field at Cal Expo. So we'll start things off here as we move into the second minute. Arizona fighting, will send a cross over the net, and Jake Gleason will pluck it out of the air and see if they can get the counterattack going. Gets it down Hurley, a forward header by Justin Braun. And Sacramento on the season trying to pick up their 8th victory. They're currently in 5th place, trying to move up. They've been quite a battle. They've been stuck in that 4, 5, 6 position almost the entire year. Here's Clemente with a little bit of fancy footwork, working the touch line. And for the first time tonight, here's Tommy Thompson to get a touch on the ball. And they're just going to clear it all the way out. So only one practice with Thompson. and Powell in there. So it'll be interesting to see how the Republic shape things up a little bit here. And as Kevin, as we move forward, spacing has been critical. It really helps out the Republic's attack. What are you looking for early on?
Early on, I want to see him keep the ball and continue to move forward and try to integrate Tommy Thompson and Powell as much as they can right now. Get those guys some touches early. Let them get a part of the team and really start connecting with each other. But I think that's going to be really important here for the first 5-10 minutes.
Well, there was Powell running over the top early on. So the third matchup between these two squads. Sacramento lost 2-1 on April 19th in Peoria. Row with the first goal in the year in the 27th minute. Clementa goes down. He's slow to get back up.
Yeah, Okafor just came right through the back of him.
And a big reason they lost that was really early on. We talked about there wasn't a lot of concentration almost from this team, and Daly got a red card, put them down to 10 men. They ended up losing it 2-1. But seems like since then they really started to play together, a little more gelling together, I should say, a lot better. Here's Adam John working the line, and they're going to say out of play. So they'll move it around and get it reset from here.
We had a good view of that. That's a poor call. That ball was right on the line. Precky's standing up, and he's saying the same thing.
So we'll get a throw in from the side. And to throw will be St. Cyr. Little fight in the middle. Working himself all the way around, crossing left, crossing right. Nice move by Schuma, but not able to break free from the defense. Ruthven will be key tonight as he's going to try to contain Adam John. Adam John on loan from the San Jose Earthquakes. Here's a chance for the Republic. Braun scoops it up. And offsides. They say John slipped far too late. That's a very close call. The Republic fans do not like it.
Yeah, it looks like Braun might have came from an offside position maybe to grab that ball, but, you know, from our angle, it's tough to see.
So here is Evan Newton. Evan Newton from Old Dominion. He's the all-time saves leader. From Virginia Beach originally, Earthquakes reserve as well. Has played over 1,100 minutes for the Arizona team. Forward header by Guzman, a very nice ball. Braun just waiting in the lurch, and Newton sends it right back to the middle of the park. And you see Jonathan Top making his mark on this. Well, and it seems there's that fight again as the Arizona United go 3-3-4. A little bit of a different setup. And how does the Republic kind of answer back to that set? A little bit lost here. So here's the middle of the field. They try to set things back. So with that 3-3 front, how does that change things up?
I think you really need to make sure your outside backs are staying aware. And when they do push forward, you need to have your center backs in constant communication with those guys to pull them back, make sure that they're defending first and attacking second. So that's something they really need to worry about and make sure they get their shoulders right defensively.
Castle trying to find a streaking teammate. Hasn't been able to do so. And Valadez trying to send it upfield. Both teams really fighting hard here. And Clementa with a nice stop and tries to get it on a counterattack. Braun giving chase, and they'll give it back to Newton. Here's a chance for Republic. Guzman comes up, and you had Thompson flying to the right wing. Looking left, over to the middle. Here's Okafor. Okafor in top, along with Chuma in the middle. Tracking it down is Thompson. Thompson showing his skills a little bit. Here is John. John leaks out. Will John able to get to it? Skirts just side of left side of the box. He'll stop it before it hits the end line. In the middle of the field. And nobody home. Here's a chance, and scooped up easily by Newton.
Yeah, Alvarez was going to want that one back again a little bit later. It looks like he just scuffed his kick a little bit. What I like to see there is Tommy Thompson gets the ball in his back third and his defensive third and pushes forward hard and quickly. Serves a great ball over the top and springs John into the attacking third. So good movement, good play by the Republic there.
Nice ball by Lopez to send it across to Clementa. Clementa coming all the way up. He's playing box to box tonight. Here's Max Alvarez from Napa, the wine country. Played at Sac State, got on the team as a walk-on. Had a great tryout, and it was very impressive to Graham Smith and Coach Preki. And there is a whistle blown.
Here we go. Great opportunity like we talked about as the match was starting. We have Roro getting on top of the ball here. And you got your two big bodies with Braun and John in there.
A little bit just trying to look at the field a little bit. You really have half the field shaded right now. So taking any kind of ball from, if you're on that right side, a little bit difficult to see, especially if it gets up in the air. So corner kick might be interesting from the left side of the field.
Yeah, the goalies is what you really are concerned with in that situation. I think it shouldn't be an issue on this particular play, but it's definitely a concern the first 30 minutes of the game before the sun really starts getting a little bit lower in the sky.
Lopez and Vukovic both lining up to the ball. Lopez has been so deadly, spot on each and every time, and it will be Vukovic, and just sends one way over the crossbar, and it'll be right back to the Arizona United.
Yeah, I want to see Roro take some leadership role there and tell Vukovic, I'm the guy taking this right now. I think it might have suited a left-footed player a little bit better, this particular set piece, but I would like to see Roro get on top of that thing and strike it.
No score here early on in the first half of play from Bonnie Field. It was just a week ago. Sacramento put up 4 goals, their most in the season. The same time, they allowed the most of the year with 3. Were able to come away with a win. Mike Facito with a tap in. After the goalie came out a little bit. So Sacramento defensively trying to shore things up a little bit. Here's Powell working the right side, able to get it. And then maybe the sun there playing a factor. The ball has a little bit spin on it with the wind as well, and maybe tough out there.
Yeah, I like to see Roro on the ball, and I love the idea. I love the thought. Execution wasn't theirs, just off, but that's fine. Some good movement early here and some good positive actions for the Republic early in the game so far.
Daly pulls it in. Vukovic to the middle. Right back to the right side of the field. Sacramento really played the angle so well last week, and would set up some pretty big goals. Here's a good chance here. Working inside the box. Works right, goes left, and looks like we may have a corner on that kick.
Yeah, good effort, good ball over there by and springs Powell going forward. Looks like Powell's got some pace, which is going to be exciting to see. Would really like to see Powell get a ball in the box there, but wins the corner. So we definitely have a chance here to try to get our big boys up there and get their head on it here.
And so Thompson will make his way over. Setting it down is Max Alvarez. Powell fades back. So does Guzman. And here's a quick insert and just a quick turnover. Here's Guzman forward and ahead. John in the middle, not able to get a good ball on it. And here's a nice return from Newton, who just sends it down to a streaking teammate, and Clemente able to track it down on the fly. Still up in the air, nice volley and a nice ball by Thompson as well.
I like that distribution by Newton there. Quickly sends it over the top, tries to spring one of his guys up top. Good play by Clemente to get his head on it.
Okafor working with it, trying to find a teammate in the middle. Daly just a little bit stronger, and another turnover by Arizona. I really like the back four right now, what they're doing. They seem to control the pace of this contest.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of making sure that whenever the Arizona United guys are getting their foot on the ball, they're getting close to them, making sure they don't have time, get their head down, don't let them look up and try to make any passes. Doing a good job so far.
Braun unhappy with that call. His last touched off his knee, and so Arizona will have a throw in. There's Chuma toward the net. And it's off to the right side, but a good power kick. He's got a nice foot on him, and that was a nice shot.
Good strike. Gleason had the near post covered, not a big deal. You know, and here we go. We might be seeing Gleason still concerned about his groin a little bit. So we'll see how it shakes out here. This will be his first goal kick of the game. We saw him throw the ball in his distribution on the last time, so something to keep in mind as we move forward.
Well, it is Gleason's birthday today, 24 years of age.
Yeah, he had a funny comment earlier talking about when he first got into the league in Portland. He looked over at Roro and said to him in the locker room, like, "You're how old? You're 24?" And look at him today. He's 24. He's an old man.
24 years old. And he says he's really enjoying Sacramento. He's been up and down with Portland, been traveling with them. During the Open Cup matches, hasn't gotten in the games, but man, that can wear you down as well. And here's a goalie. It's it's a position you really have to be paying attention constantly. It's easy to kind of fall into a
absolutely.
sense of
And it's tough. It's grueling for your body. You know, he's going up. He's traveling with Portland for their Open Cup games. I think they're recently in Kansas City. So he's putting a lot of miles, getting a lot of air miles right now, and not necessarily getting the minutes, which is surprising to bring him.
Here is Braun, double coverage, trying to turn the corner, and sent away by the defender Ruthven, and Ruthven will send it way deep and out into the galley. Well, big weekend for USA. World Cup is on TV, but track and field is here in Sacramento at Sacramento State. Another great event for the region. If you want more info at sacsports.com. It looks like we have a corner kick for the Republic.
Yeah, we'll see how Newton deals with the sun on this play.
And goal! Sacramento! Emra Clementa stepped up perfectly, was right there. Another mark from Lopez in Sacramento on the board. And that one got in there quickly, and Clementa reacted with perfect timing.
Yeah, great finish, great run by Clementa. Once again, we can't say enough about Roro serving balls in the box. And we just mentioned before, as Roro's taking the kick to see how Newton's going to deal with it, didn't deal well with that one. Clementa, great finish.
So Emra Clementa on the year, 14 games coming to this one without a goal. Well, he's got one in number 15, his first 2 points on the season. And it's now 1-0 Sacramento. And a beautiful dig, just kind of waiting for it. Here we go. Sacramento right back on the attack. Clementa again, who just scored it. He's waiting, sends another one toward the net a little bit high. Was saw chasing was Alvarez, and Alvarez couldn't track it down in time.
Yeah,
and
ball sails right over the box. A good ball in by Clementa, just a little heavy on it.
That score comes in the 14th minute for Sacramento. You talk about that first 15. Last game was quite the opposite, as it was the Colorado Rapids reserve squad who scored in the 14th minute. This time it's Sacramento.
Yeah, it's been pretty even play so far for the first 15 minutes, but when you get these set pieces, you need to try to capitalize as well as you can and as much as you can. And obviously I think Republic did a very good job of capitalizing on that one there.
Here's Daly coming up, working through those. Here's Okafor. Okafor off to the right. The mark here is Thompson. Little fancy footwork from Okafor back to St. Cyr. St. Cyr will come up as well, and it just seems that Arizona not in sync right now. They seem to be a little bit off, and they've sent a lot of them trying to get back their goalie, almost trying to get over the top of Sacramento. Maybe that worked at the smaller confines of Hughes Stadium, but this is a little different scenario here.
Yeah, this is a much bigger pitch, and they're going to have to deal with something.
Going after the rookie there, but he fought his way, and I think he got a whistle blown.
You know, that was a good play by Tommy Thompson there. He's little. He's not the biggest guy you have on the field. I think he's 5'7", 145 pounds, and not big by any stretch of the imagination, but he used his body really, really well. He's probably about the same size as what a Lionel Messi is right now, who plays for Argentina, as we all know. And obviously, he's successful with his size.
Here's Lopez toward the net, headed away.
And it's really a matter of how you use your physical assets and your physical strengths. And I think Tommy Thompson showed some pretty good flash of what he has there.
His dad played at Indiana, played in the '84 Olympics for the United States team in Los Angeles. Some pretty good bloodlines there. Arizona just trying to get through. Top not able to do it. And Powell with a nice down. So Powell just 19 years old. He was on loan. And a nice slide and kick from Daly again. Back to Roro in the middle, but Powell, just 19 years old from Jamaica, was on loan. Here's Braun, and offsides. So back to Powell one more time. So Powell on loan from Portmore United to the Timbers. He played there for 2 seasons before playing here in Portland. Well, now Portland's has moved him down here, but he was just 17 years old when he made his first start in Jamaica, professional ranks there, and here he is getting a chance in Northern California.
Yeah, Jamaica's got quite a few players that play in the MLS right now. Portland's goalie, Donovan Ricketts, and just another player and another example of Jamaica bringing guys up into the successful ranks of MLS.
Strong shot again by the United, but again, the midfielders and then 4 defensemen for the Republic playing very well tonight. Here's Clementa giving chase. Over the top it goes. Bring it home. is St. Cyr. Clementis with a quick steal. Here's Okafor. Okafor dancing with it near the touchline. Comes right back over. Tommy Thompson comes all the way down, and he's going to send it back through.
Yeah, good cover by Thompson there. Kind of got bailed out with Clementa. It looks like Tommy Thompson was playing a little bit too high there, but got back, tracked back quick enough, and was able to clear the ball.
What I like so far is these young guys are really coming in with something to prove. They're not acting like they're, here's a cross, and Vukovic misses on the header, but it's going to sail all the way out. Here is Gleason to stop it right before it hits the touchline. Nice ball and a good chance by Gleason.
Yeah, good ball served in. Looked like had 3 or 4, I think, 2 Republic players going up there.
And it looks like Okafor on the
Yeah,
ground is slow to
Okafor.
get up. But we talked to Roro earlier before the game started. We said, you know what, just new guys coming in. He said, you know what, the thing is, Preki gets us to play at our highest level, you know, and that's the one thing you can only ask for a coach. And it's pretty obvious. I mean, I don't think he was happy with that last win. Even though it was a win, you come here, they're playing a lot sharper. I think the defense has been 10 times better than we saw last week.
Right, I think that's something that Preki does really, really well. Regardless of the result, whether it's a win or loss, I think good, solid, strong managers really try to dissect the game to determine how they played and how their performance was.
Vukovic dangerously sends it back to Gleason, but Gleason sends it way out, and it will not be picked up for Arizona.
And as Preki was, I think, evaluating that game, determined probably it wasn't the best result or the best. It was a great result, but wasn't the best performance the guys put in. And I'm sure they've been working hard all week trying to make sure that the next performance they have is going to be solid. And you said it with what Roro said, is that Preki really brings out the best in these guys day in and day out. And evident, I think, with the evolution of how they've performed from the start of the first game this season to where they're playing now. They're playing pretty good soccer right now.
And you think about just who they're out with, you know, Ivan Mirkovic is out because of red cards, and then you've had some injuries. Tommy Stewart not playing here. I mean, you have Adam John and Justin Braun up front there, and that helps. But I mean, they've got some guys who are really dangerous who aren't in suited up.
And I think that's another good sign of a solid manager is you have from top to bottom, your players are coming in and performing. You're not just having 11 guys come out every week and put in good performances, but you're having probably 17, 18 guys.
Here's Clementa with a chip shot on goal. Braun coming flying in with his hair flopping as well. Just a little bit too high. And he almost like he kind of looked up into the sun a little bit, may have lost track.
Yeah, that might have been directly in the sun. But I think they've had 17, 18 guys that have been performing, you know, week in and week out and performing well. So I think it's a sign of a coach really having a good control of his guys and bringing out the best in them.
Here's Evan Newton hearing it from the Tower Bridge Battalion as he sends it away in an errant kick. And Sacramento will take that one, and I'll tell you what, the fans enjoyed as well.
1 point, Tower Bridge Battalion.
You can hear the drums in the background. They continued to pound. Justin Braun. Here's Thompson. Has it taken away, and Octavio Guzman. What I like about Octavio Guzman, he just seems to almost settle things a little bit. Almost that calming influence out on the field there, and he's only 23 years old.
Yeah, that's the role that you want your holding midfielder to play. You want him to be on the ball and make sure that he's not the one that is frantically trying to get control of the ball. That's the kind of character trait that you want to see in that holding midfielder.
Working around, well, we talked so much about Lopez and his 5 points. Well, everybody in the USL Pro taking notice as well, as he was the player of the week for the USL Pro for week 14. And, you know, guy who is, has a newborn. He's just working construction in the offseason, really worked hard to get back here. And here's a shot on goal down to his knees. He goes Newton and picks up the save. And not a bad job. So congratulations to Lopez, who's now scored a point in 7 of 9 matches after the assist here tonight. So he has just been on fire and clearly one of the best in the USL Pro.
Yeah, he's having a really good season so far and really happy to see him do it. He's one of my former teammates. He works hard week in and week out, and really happy to see him getting some good solid results here in Sacramento.
And Sacramento defensively has just outworked the United. They have been stronger and tougher, and it's paying off. Tommy Thompson with some famous footwork there over the top, and he hits the deck.
Yeah, St. Cyr goes in pretty hard there. I don't know how much contact he really gets with Tommy Thompson, but I think the intent was there, hence a yellow card being shown here to St. Cyr.
So St. Cyr hit with a caution, but man, Thompson took it, flipped it up, spun around, took it in the air, tried to make another move, and that's when he was taken out. And there it is. So the crowd finally likes it, but man, this kid, for 18 years old, He is one heck of a dribbler.
Yeah, no, he's got really good feet. Technically similar to what we see with Roro. Quick feet, solid on the ball. There's the tackle right there. Looks like he gets a little bit of Tommy Thompson. It looks a little bit worse than it really is, but I think the intent's there, hence the yellow card being shown, which I think is a fair call.
Well, here is Lopez. A set play. Only one up. And here is the kick. Sends it far, sends it high. Here's a slow roller and jumped up, volleyed in the air. Arizona able to keep it alive.
Another great ball in by Roro.
This one sent deep. So over the top at Hughes is really what we saw over and over again, was teams just trying to send it over that middle, those back lines there. They can't really do that here, Kevin.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be tough for him. Here's one right now.
Oh, Gleason comes way off his line to pick it up.
Yeah,
A nice, smart move.
Yeah, quick off his line. That's a good move. Clementa and Gleason communicating really well and working together in that on that particular play.
And tonight may be still down. If you're watching at home, don't fret. More matches coming up here from Bonnie Field. If you want tickets, they are available July 4th here with fireworks to follow here at Cal Expo. Don't want to miss that. Here's a chance for the United. The cross sent wide, nobody home, and Republic will take it. So don't miss out. Atlas of FC on July 6th as well, and the Rangers SC from Glasgow on July 19th. So all you have to do is go to Ticketmaster.com, and we have plenty of games here to watch. So don't miss out on this exciting action here at Bonnie Field. Tommy Thompson still playing with it, and his other players know when there's a young guy out there as well. I mean, do they simply try to target it, go after? But I'll tell you what, Thompson's held his own.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how much they're going to be targeting going after him. I think he's just going to be a part of the cog in the machine here with the Republic. Unfortunate handball that he just committed right there in a difficult, dangerous position for the Republic to defend here.
Setting it up is Morrison. Morrison with a goal. And the draw against the Galaxy toward the net. Up comes Gleason, scoops it up in the pocket. Now he's looking downfield.
Yeah, a lot of bodies on the ground there. People looking for some calls. Good job by Gleason coming off his line quickly and strong.
And Gleason gave up 3 goals. I don't know if those were all should be attributed to him in the last match, but he just looks a lot sharper tonight as well.
Yeah, he's looking crisp tonight. Coming off his line, and distribution's been solid so far as well. Hasn't been tested too much, and, you know, at the end of the day, hopefully he doesn't get tested too much, so.
Braun waits for it in the middle of the park. Del Piccolo quickly distributing. Top loses it. Powell up there to give him chase. So Powell working early, and Powell being tested on a little bit of strength there, and still fighting after it is Top. Top takes it away, the steal, but Powell comes right back with it. The youngster from Jamaica sends it the other way. Justin Braun curls it in.
Good counterattack
Here's
opportunity.
Alvarez.
Heavy touch by Alvarez. It's unfortunate.
Justin Braun played with Toronto FC last year, 2 goals in 17 matches. On this season has 10 points with 5 goals. And so Justin Braun did play for San Jose here this season as well, 1 match, and did score the first home goal. And looks like we have a player now down on the field.
Looks like Powell, and I don't know if he just did his hamstring doing the Karate Kid kick right there.
And kind of not only holding his knee, but appears to be possibly his left leg. Lopez comes over, Daly's there, and here comes Vukovic to check things out, and might be a trainer as well.
Is it a hamstring or maybe his knee?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like right below his knee or his calf there. And Vukovic is saying keep it down, so.
Yeah, he's looking at his knee here. Never fun thinking that your knee might have done something it shouldn't have done.
Now you've dealt with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no worse feeling in the world than having a weird feeling in your knee during a match. A lot of things going through his head right now, so hopefully he's okay.
We'll score, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. You check out all the latest from around the USL as Sacramento tries to climb up the ranks as well. And they're going to kind of talk things over, just giving a break here for both these teams as well. And for Sacramento, they may need it the most. They've really been fighting hard through this match. And now your goal is to continue that attack and see what they can do offensively. Sacramento has looked great all season long as we saw Powell trying to walk things off a little bit. but really the attack has been better. It's been sharper. Almost those angles have collapsed a little bit tonight, but those set plays have looked well.
Yeah, set pieces. And it's funny. Set pieces are always, it's a fickle beast that's part of soccer, where if you have a guy like Roro who's serving really good balls in, everyone else is working that much harder to make sure that they're going to get their head on the end of it, because they know if they put the effort in, the ball's going to be served on that silver platter for them, hopefully.
Little tap and go, but Clementa plays it well. Vukovic now in the middle of the field.
And that's what's happening lately with Roro serving great balls in.
Here's
Powell's
Powell
back
giving
on.
chase. So looks like that knee may be okay. Pauses, looks toward the middle, plays it along the line, and a diving save by Evan Newton.
Yeah, it looks like John was crashing down in there as well.
Talking to Jakubek before the game, the reserve goalie here for the Republic, and he said that is the hardest ball because you have to watch so many things coming at the same time.
Yeah, you got to worry about your near post. Your near post is your first and foremost goal to cover. And if a ball beats you near post, it's your responsibility as a keeper. So you have a lot of things to think about. You got bodies flying in front of you, crashing in front of you. And if you go out head first and hand first to try to save that ball, like Newton just did, you're putting your body on the line. And you got attackers, big bodies like Braun and John coming in, probably studs up, things like that. So it's definitely something that you got to take in consideration. It's a brave move by Newton there and a good save.
And I imagine almost that second ball coming back too is something else you got to worry about.
Exactly.
Daly has played strong tonight, and I'll say this, the back four have won the weight room war for sure. They've just played stronger. Here's Adam John, the Jesuit product. Justin Braun in the middle, and that shot is sent high and over the net. So a couple locals here. So Justin Braun from Salt Lake City, but his teammate there, Adam John from Carmichael here. Played at Jesuit High School, went on to play at Stanford. Very good career there, picked up by the Earthquakes.
Had a really good rookie season last year. Scored some big goals in some big games. And good to see him out here getting a run, getting some minutes, which is an absolute vital role in any player's development, is coming out and playing in professional matches and getting minutes. Invaluable.
4 goals in 2013, and thinking about what he had at Stanford there. 24 goals in his college career. I mean, he was quite a stud. Tall, lengthy, fast. A lot of things you want in a striker. Tommy Thompson plays one off the chest. Nicely defended. Arizona just not having much luck tonight. Here's Schumann just trying to get something going. Him and Okafor within about a step or so. There's Vukovic. So Arizona, I mean, is Sacramento outplaying them? Is Arizona not on pace? What's going on with them?
Yeah, I don't think things are clicking for Arizona right now. They've had a couple good breakouts, good counterattacks. It's just part of the game, you know, as a match evolves and moves and ebbs and flows. This might not be a good spell for them the first 20, 25 minutes. But you know what? There's a lot of game left to play. We got 60 minutes left, and then see if they can figure things out.
Arizona struggling a little bit, but it was Morrison who scored his first goal of the year in the 54th minute to tie it against the Galaxy 2 in Arizona. And on that homestand, United went 1-1-1. So it was a 3-game set. They really thought they could get things back in order. Didn't make it happen. And so now they're back on the road again, this time here in Sacramento. See if they can snag one away, but now they trail by a goal after Emra Clementa on a header from Rodrigo Lopez sent it to the back of the net. Here, the 14th minute. We've been without a goal since. Sacramento has had a couple of chances. Powell, who went down, seems to be okay. Lopez in the middle. Nice little tap and go. Lopez back to the middle of the park, waiting for a streaking teammate. Here is Powell. I like this setup. Good ball toward the middle of the net, and it was just Braun who was trailing a little bit slow, but Evan Newton was there to get a finger on it and able to bring it into his chest before it sailed any further.
Yeah, good 1-2 touch soccer there. Roro being the orchestrator of that. Powell makes a great overlapping run on the right side. Doesn't serve the best ball in, and the runs aren't there yet, but a good. Here's a little counter.
Here's Clementa to Braun to John, and John just can't turn the corner. Lopez fighting. A whistle blown, foul on the Republic. United will take it, but there's that chance there. It's almost just salivating. It's such a wide open net for you, especially for Adam John. He has been hungry. 2 goals for the Republic. He hasn't scored since, though.
Yeah,
that was earlier on in the year.
Looked like he might have lost his footing a little bit there, but once again, a good positive attack by the Republic.
Down goes Alvarez. And interesting, you know, we talk about just the scope. And here's Evan Newton as the Republic try to think, but just the scope of where the Republic are going. I mean, you've seen just the Republic name on shirts, sweatshirts, hats, beanies, just about anything. And everyone is trying to get a piece of the merchandise, and it's fun to go out inside. And I was in Napa last weekend, over the top. Go the Republic. And down goes, here's Thompson with the play. And back here's come Clementa. Clementa to the middle of the park. Nobody home and trying to gain possession, but Roro right back with it. Has it stuffed, sets back up. It'll be Guzman. Here's John fighting for it. So in Napa's weekend, had him with the Republic hats on, and one of the guys stopped me and said, hey, I love that hat. He's like, I've been hearing great things about the Republic. And he said, I heard you guys sell out every game. And I said, in fact, they have been. He goes, well, I played high school soccer with Max Alvarez. I got to come out there. So, you know, it really is interesting to see how far, and everyone well-known this become. Here's Powell on the right side. And I'm sure you get a sense of that as well, being back here and people talking to you about the Republic, probably more about soccer than they ever have.
Yeah, it's been real exciting to hear, you know, everyone come out of the woodwork talking about soccer and how excited everyone is about the Republic. And it's funny, you talk about the merchandise that these guys are selling. We leave the game probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes after the last whistle, and there's still a line at the merchandise tent, which is just, I mean, if you're the Republic management, you are thrilled to see stuff like that. You know, not a seat to be had here tonight, and it's still continuing to be such an exciting thing here in Sacramento.
Whistle's blown here, and so we know this has been such a town of purple with the Sacramento Kings for so long, with the River Cats in there as well, but the Republic making a strong statement here. On the field as well, they lead 1-0 over the United from Arizona. Once the Phoenix Wolves last year, the Phoenix Wolves franchise closing, shutting down shop. But they've resurrected. Here's a cross over the middle, just sent way high and over the top. Powell kind of gave up on the chase a little bit and sends him into the boards.
That looks like a cross check there, maybe.
This became a hockey match, and there is a yellow card thrown against Powell. And Powell is upset with it.
Yeah,
but he took out the Bonnie sign.
Yeah, I think I took out the Bonnie sign. I think Powell's just too casual. He kind of, you know, he brings it upon himself. He's jogging to the ball, and it looked like it might have been Top who put the pressure on and made Powell force him to basically shove him out of bounds. So, I mean, a good play by United. I'd like to see Powell get out there as quickly as he can, take control of the ball, and play it upfield rather than jog casually out to it.
Shock it up to youth a little bit, 19 years of age, but now a good chance here for the United, who have not had many good chances at all this evening. They have really struggled to get something going in the net, but you know, Powell, as we said, slightly jogging as the official tries to set things up here. And here's the replay, and just a little bit of a shove, and it is pretty close to the field, but you know, you put your shoulder down like that, I think they got to call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty blatant. I think the referee had a clear view, a clear lane to see what was going on there. It's a dangerous position here.
Here's a kick, bending toward the goal, Gleason.
Great ball in, great ball served in. You'd like to see, you know, if you're Arizona, you want to make sure that your runs are being made there. That's a near post run that could have been, if someone's making that run, you can get your head on that fairly easily.
And good ball by Gleason to send it out and get this attack going for the Republic way deep into the attacking third. And not able to get there quick enough is Thompson. And Thompson asking for some direction. But still a tough throw in for Arizona. I like how quickly the Republic are getting downfield tonight. They're not just setting it, but they really are pushing it fast.
Yeah, good opportunity to try to pin them in their own corner here. Whenever you get a throw in that deep in your attacking third, you want to bring everyone step up a little bit, make it as difficult as you can for them to get out of their own defensive third.
We're able to steal one back.
Yeah, United did a pretty well job there of getting out of that section, but that's one of the strategies that are deployed. You know, when the ball goes over the touch in the attacking third towards the corner flag for a throw-in, you want to make sure everyone's pushed in and as high as they can to really try to limit and make it as difficult as possible. And hopefully you pick up a quick ball and you can counterattack as you're already in that final third.
Lopez to the middle. Alvarez down, no whistle thrown.
Yeah, Alvarez looking for a call there. Went down a little soft.
St. Cyr has played up, almost bringing him up in the midfield, and a nice tackle by Guzman.
That's your holding midfielder. You want to make those tackles as well. You love seeing that from your holding midfielder.
Adam John dancing with it a little bit, and so back comes the Republic to set things up here as we move to the 38th minute. Be interesting how much time is added, as we had an injury stoppage as well as the yellow card, both involving Powell. Daly with a nice left foot. Finds a streaking Powell. Great ball in the middle of the field. Here is Braun towards the net. A shot that will find the hands of Evan Newton.
Great first touch by Powell right there. Good run by Braun, and even a better defensive play by the United there to limit Braun's chance in striking a ball on frame there. But good play by the Republic.
And out of play, Republic will keep it here. So the Republic will host a friendly, the Barclays Premier League's West Bromwich Albion on July 21st and the 25th. Now, July tickets will go on sale July 1st. I should say the matches are part of an 11-day trip for the Baggies, and they were 17th in the EPL. And they're finishing just above Norwich City, which we saw Norwich City in that day of soccer at Rayleigh Field. I guess is it last year now? Has it been that long?
It has.
Time has gone by.
And it'll be exciting, I think, for Sacramento to get a glimpse. West Brom was one of the groups that was, or the teams that was struggling to stay up in the top 17 teams. As you know, as if you go down into the 18th, 19th, and 20th position in the Premier League, you get relegated down to the lower division. So they fought hard the last final bit of the season and stayed up in the Premiership. So I think it'd be a good chance for Sacramento and fans to see what the Premiership teams are all about.
And, you know, we look at Sacramento, we're getting a real taste of professional soccer here, but there becomes a higher level. I mean, that's one of the top leagues in the entire world.
Yeah, arguably the toughest league in the world. Can always argue that Germany is right now, with them having the European champions of Bayern Munich, who had a phenomenal season and are only slated to get even stronger next year. So.
And just, I guess, bringing what they call the world's game around to Sacramento more often, I think will only help the Republic's cause and everybody else who really get involved here. Now, the Bay Area's got some pretty big matches as well. They've got some big teams coming their way. I think Real Madrid's making their way this summer. So, I mean, you talk about, if you're a soccer fan in Sacramento, there is no excuse or any shortage to see a good match here.
Yeah, if you're a European soccer fan, the summer months are always great time to see some of these bigger clubs come through. They definitely stop in San Francisco, San Jose, LA as well, but there's usually probably 3, 4, maybe 5 big clubs that come up here and play friendlies against MLS side. So very fun stuff if you're a European soccer fan.
Lopez in the middle there. Now the goal by Clementa is the only score we have so far in this match against the United. It ended at 1-1. And their last meeting at Hughes Stadium, it was over 100 degrees during the day. Much better weather here. But the United has played some tough balls. Here's a great ball to the corner, but no one is home. And Vukovic there to scoop it up.
Yeah, smart move by Vukovic, slowing things down. Vukovic has been very steady, very solid the last 4 or 5 games for the Republic.
Vukovic 5 points on the season. He does have 14 fouls coming into this game. It's second on the team. Here's Guzman wide open to the door and gets it back to Braun. And Vukovic played the first league club in Montenegro, played with Greek club from 09 to 11. And here he is, a long way from home.
Yeah, it's funny seeing a lot of these guys' journeys to Sacramento. It's fun to see that growth in the transitions from where these guys have been. They've been all over the world, each one of these players. Hard foul there. Looks like Woodbridge comes in pretty hard on Alvarez.
And will we see a caution thrown?
Yeah, I don't think there was much intent there. I think Alvarez was just a step quicker. No real need for a yellow card, just a solid warning here. I think this is the right decision by the official.
Doesn't be that Woodbury liked it very much at all. But now the flag's starting to wave for the Tower Bridge Battalion as Lopez really starts to shine in these moments. He's become a rock star here at Sacramento.
Really has. It's great to see. Love seeing Sacramento open their arms for one of our players here. So Roro's a great guy.
Here's a chance. I believe that we will win. Lopez in a set play. It's a pretty good scoring chance for Sacramento. Clementa, Daly, Vukovic, John, Braun, and Thompson all in the box. Here's the cross up for the net. Oh, and Newton with a diving save. Just missed the far post. A pretty good chance there by Roro to give it a shot on goal, but just did not get there in time.
You know, that was actually Alvarez who struck that ball. Solid left foot of Alvarez, and that's exactly where you want that ball to land. You want it landing inside the 6-yard box and almost bounce in the far post if you can. So a great ball in by Alvarez. And once again, Republic's got numerous guys on the pitch right now that can serve good balls in on set pieces. So
everyone but Guzman and Powell up here. Vukovic dancing. Here comes a throw-in and a chance by Thompson on the rebound.
Yeah, Newton came out strong there. A lot of traffic in the box to deal with. I think he did a pretty good job right there.
Alvarez crossing over, beats his man, and that'll be a corner. Here we go again. So we've seen Alvarez take these as well. He has 4 points on the season, but only 1 assist. That should be 2 assists. So here he comes. The set, the cross, and the header high.
I think Daly's going to want that one back. That was a great ball in by Alvarez.
He almost just got in front of it just a tad, it seemed.
Yeah, maybe mistimed his jump a little bit, but great ball whipped in. Good run by Daly. Right place, right time. Just like to see you nod that thing on frame, Daly.
Well, make sure to follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates for all the matches around the league. And at Sac Republic FC is the home Twitter feed as well. Clementa to throw in. Emerald Clementa played indoors last year with the Bay Area Rossels are the 23 goals, so he lines up his left defender. Here's a steal by John, jumps it over to Braun. Braun has a chance. He hesitates, works in some space, and he's brought down from behind by St. Cyr. And just outside the box, and so they'll get a free play here, but plenty of time to try to get. Now defensively, Arizona, how they're going to guard this is a tough ball for Evan Newton, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Newton's just got to decide how many people he wants in his wall. It looks like typically in this situation, he may have 2, 3 guys. It looks like he's going for 4, so he might be really thinking that Roro is going to be taking a shot here.
And they're going to put 4 up. Here's Roro, bends it high into the net. Oh.
Very, very close.
Over
touches the roof of the net. Great ball in by Roro. I tell you, he's deadly on set pieces. We say time and time again.
It just skirted just over the top crossbar. Looked like it went in. And so take it away. And from this angle, it looked like a perfect ball from Lopez. So Justin Braun fighting for it. Back comes Okafor running the right side. St. Cyr again. St. Cyr loses it. St. Cyr has looked really sloppy on that right side. He's just been unable to control it. I don't know if it's a swarming defense or not for the Republic, but he's had some tough chances. Little back header. Tries to get it to Thompson, and looking for John running down the middle of the park. Here's Guzman again. Guzman has really controlled the middle of the field. And when you see Guzman, Kevin, I can only imagine when he's really starting to impose his will, that will starts to really expand. Kind of gives other midfielders some more opportunities to get downfield.
Yeah, you know, I really like to see him just continue doing what he's doing right now. I think he's had a solid first half. Won some tackles, brought the pace of play down a little bit, slowed things down when needed. So far a good half, and you know, like to see him get the once he does get his foot on the ball, to lift his head up and see if he can make some good passes, some good distribution.
Here's a good ball to the middle and just airmail. Daly couldn't jump high enough.
Another good ball by Roro. That's not an easy ball to hit.
And not a tough play at all. So there goes the whistle. And the 46-minute mark. It is Sacramento who leads into the locker room with a score of 1-0 over the Arizona United. And so great so far a play defensively. It has been on this side of the ball where Sacramento has really controlled things, and it has worked out well. We'll step aside here. We'll be back with some stats for you, as well as the continuation of the match here from Bonnie Field at Sacramento 1, Arizona 0.
Your premier home service experts and proud founding partners of the Sacramento Republic FC. Bonnie, making fans since 1978.
Hey Dad, I got an A in algebra.
You're excited about soccer, and so are we. CBS 13 and CW31 are proud to be the official TV stations of your Sacramento Republic FC. So we understand why you have soccer on the brain.
some of our kids, they tend to, they're fearful to get out of bed for fear of pain or doing something wrong. And so whenever you can sort of take them out of that element and give them a little special treat that's just theirs, something that's very special to them, they kind of let go of the surgery that's just happened and the fear that they have, and they branch out and they're able to actually get up and walk around, and they realize, oh, I can do this and it doesn't hurt. And so it really helps their recovery speed right along.
Get your taste of the season at Rayleigh's, Bel Air, and Nob Hill.
Welcome back to Bonnie Field. Rob McAllister with you, Kevin Goldthwait as well. It's 1-0 Sacramento over Arizona here as we begin the next 45 minutes of play. Kevin, your thoughts? First half, what did the Republic do well?
First half, I thought the Republic moved the ball really well. Love to see Roro on the ball in the middle of the park. I thought he stretched the field well. I really want to see John and Braun up top connect more and really combine and move the ball and stretch the field as much as we can. And I'd really like to see that moving forward in the next 5-10 minutes of the second half. I want to see Roro stretch the field, get Braun or John, send a few balls over the top, and see if we can get the second half starting off right with some positive momentum going forward.
Now, we know those two haven't played a lot of matches together, but at this point, they do have some experience together, and still a very empowering duo up front. Defensively, I thought the Republic played very well this evening, really controlling it here on the back half.
Yeah, it seems like a cohesive back four is what you absolutely, if you're saying those words about a back four, that's definitely a positive thing to be talking about. They're moving as one. When one guy's stepping, we got some good cover. You know, we talked about it in previous broadcasts with how I would judge my performance at halftime is how many times did the opposition get in behind me. And I really don't think maybe but 1 or 2 times did Arizona really stretch the field and get behind and become threatening. A few times on the flanks, but that's going to happen through the course of a game. I thought they were very cohesive and strong, solid back four in the first half, and we need to make sure we're doing that in the second half here.
And so 8 fouls versus 5 from Arizona to Sacramento. Corners, Sacramento had 4 of them. But really what the statistic that shot out for me was only 2 shots on goal for the United compared to 10 for Sacramento. Seems that they're really putting on the pressure.
Yeah, if you look at these numbers on the paper, they're pretty evident of which way the scale is tilted. But I think if you're looking at it, you might be a little disappointed that the Republic didn't get another goal or 2. I think we had some good, solid chances, and it's one of these things, you know, it could bite you in the butt at the end of the day, is if you have these chances early in the game, you need to make sure you capitalize on them and get that second goal, get that third goal, so you do have the ability to have some cushion as you move forward.
Well, the United knows that oh so well, is that it was an extra time, but Chad Bartlome sent it to the back of the net, and that was the tying goal, and what an exciting draw that was at Hughes Stadium, the final match at Sac City College. But here we are, Sacramento will get things going here as we begin play. It is John and Braun up front, Thompson still in there as well, and it appears Gleason still in the goal box as well, so no changes for the Republic. Here's Guzman, and running the right side, Alvarez, and Guzman tracking it down here to the right side of the field. The cross over the middle, Tommy Thompson was there, but not able to get it over the top in time, and here working the other way goes St. Cyr.
Good first movement. I like Guzman picking up the second ball there after Roro played the long one through, headed out by the United players. I'd like to see Guzman maybe bring that ball down, take a few touches, play it back rather than serve it in. I think if you got your head up, you saw Tommy Thompson's the only guy in there who like we mentioned before, is 5'7", 145. He's not going to win too many balls in the air.
As we look through the first 45 minutes for Tommy Thompson, just 18 years of age, a Granite Bay High School product. How do you assess his play? He looks like he came out just almost like a bulldog, ready to really strike and get after it here tonight.
Yeah, no, he absolutely looks like he's got a little bit of bite to him, which I really like to see. Had a good performance, good 45 minutes, and definitely looks like he's going to have some flashes down here as we move forward in the second half.
He's working it around Woodbury to Morrison here. Both goalkeepers remain the same. Evan Newton in the box for the United. He's allowed the 1 goal. That was a corner. Emerald Clemente with a header, and the assist was Rodrigo Lopez. And a soft kick there, maybe not something intended. Thompson able to take it off the knee. And Thompson has just been flying all over the park. And here's a guy that really could be the future for the San Jose Earthquakes. And you have a couple of guys who could be playing together. Talking about John Thompson together.
Yeah, we ran into Graham Smith, the technical director here at halftime, and he called Tommy Thompson a little bulldog, which I think is a great little adjective for Tommy Thompson. He's a feisty little guy that likes to get his nose in the scruff and really kind of can mix things up, which I like to see for a smaller, you know, feisty guy like Tommy.
And Tommy Thompson going down. Foul there. So Arizona trying to get back on track here as well. Daly, who's been so solid for this club. Nice ball to Powell, but
Powell made a great run right there.
here's John, middle of the park. Here is Braun. Braun A shot on goal, but deflected by Woodbury, who just stepped right in front of the goal box.
Yeah, solid tackle by Woodbury. Poor giveaway in the box, and good job by John bringing it down, playing it to Braun. Braun hits a solid shot, try to get on target, but like I said, a good tackle by Woodbury there.
Daly will head it back. Well, Nike's a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And I want to thank all of our sponsors bringing you Sacramento Republic Soccer this season.
A couple of poor giveaways so far in this first half by Arizona. Like to see Republic really try to capitalize on those giveaways.
So no substitutions at half here. We'll see whether or not changes are made later on as that ball sent to the bench.
Yes, some good play so far in the first half too by Powell. I love the guy's pace, and it's something that's such an asset to have. And one thing you really can't teach is pace, and Powell has it. So I've seen him a few times in the first half go flying up that right wing. Like to see him serve a few more balls into the box and try to get Braun and John involved that way.
Now, Kevin, we saw earlier on in the season almost the Republic would get a little lax right out of the first 15 minutes. It really seemed that second half was almost their Achilles heel. That first 10 minutes was just not great.
You know, absolutely, and it's almost turned. It was close to being part of the personality of the team, which is conceding goals late and early in games, which is something you never want to do in soccer. Here is concede those goals, and I think they've maybe kind of got over the hump a little bit, and have done a good job the last. At least this game, last game they gave two soft goals quickly in the second half. So we'll see what happens here as they break.
Here's a chance for the United. Sends one toward the net. Deflection. Second opportunity sent wide.
It's like Powell might have been on the line blocking that. But we were just talking about it, Rob. Here we have first 5 minutes, and we're giving away a pretty simple chance.
So a corner for the United. Gleason hit the floor for that one. And now to set it will be Castle. Not a lot of room there between the barrier and the corner, and he's going to have a little bit of a take with that and give the Bonnie side a couple of kicks.
Yeah, fans aren't taking.
Drops it down. Here's the cross over the middle. Headed away by the Republic defensively. Nice job. Sent right back to the net. Hits off a United player, and they're still in play. This one trickles to Gleason.
Yeah, Castle was kicking that Bonnie Field sign. And I don't think the Tower Bridge Battalion guys down there were taking too lightly to that. I love it.
He wanted that room, and with only a goal setting them apart from tying this match.
Yeah, I mean, they almost are looking a little complacent. The Republic are. You know, it's a one-goal game, and I think I would like to see a little bit more urgency on them, especially in the next 5-10 minutes. Here's Powell flying up the right wing again. Love it.
Powell making a move. Working right. Back to the left. Stays right. And shift away. Morrison playing nice as the mark. And here's a little soft cross. John was there. Headed away. United with a nice break. Now they can counter. Stolen right back by Vukovic.
Great step by Vukovic. Keeps the ball in the attacking third.
Alvarez, excuse me, over the middle, and was looking for Thompson flying through. Now here's Clementa, the bright orange cleats, setting it up. Braun. Sacramento has really dominated the possession here in this match. They have been at that attacking third for most of the evening. A little soft touch over to John, backed over the middle. Braun, John there. Braun waited, John attacked it.
Good play there, good ball in by Clementa.
Nice crowd again, 8,000 strong.
Oh,
Daly comes up with it.
Great step by Daly once again.
And Roro will clear it out. So Daly has been a mainstay here for this team as well. From Sonoma, California. We've got a lot of locals playing for the Republic. Daly also playing for the Ventura County Fusion, Cal State LA, 6'1". We've seen a couple of guys from the Ventura County Fusion. Graham Smith down there as well. plucking some of those guys he'd seen earlier on. There's Powell again with a nice cross over the middle. Waiting for it was John, and he just was there a tad moment late.
Love seeing it. Love seeing Powell get up that right flank, serving balls into the big bodies of John and Braun. Looks like Ruthven was able to get up in the air and maybe throw John off just enough for him to miss time his jump, and unfortunately didn't put that ball. But great ball. Once again, great movement forward, but you need to capitalize on these chances. Get that ball on target at least, John.
Seemed like it sunk just a tad moment before John was able to get there. And again, another great chance by Sacramento. And as you said, they're just kind of letting Arizona hang around this one. You feel like one more goal may do it. Braun goes down.
It goes down rather soft, in my opinion, there.
He'll concede it. Fans don't like it. Braun, at 26 years of age, has been around a little bit. He's going to try to work a couple of calls his way. One thing, as you've seen, Kevin, as we talked about, it doesn't seem like really Braun and John have really been on the same page tonight. They did a much better job of that, I thought, last week.
Yeah, you know, it's not vital. Here we get a little counterattack.
And here's a one shot on the net off the bounce, and Gleason makes a nice play to come off the line and make the stop.
Yeah, fortunate there for the Republic that we were able to, Gleason was able to pick that up. I mean, this is, once again, we're talking about chances that, you know, if we don't start capitalizing on ours, they're going to have one or two chances in this half. And who knows, they might put one of them in or both of them in. So they need to make sure they keep going, keep pushing forward here.
Back to the middle field here, a much wider pitch here at Bonnie Field than what the Republic have been playing on at home. More narrow field on the artificial turf at Hughes Stadium. It allowed teams to almost take advantage of that, even though Sacramento has played very well, 3-1-1 at home this year. They've been very good in front of the home fans. 3 times at games sell out at 20,000, 17,000, 8,000 here, and another 8,000 tonight. And as we said earlier, I know a lot of people have thought, you know what, I'm not even going to bother looking for tickets, but you can get tickets. You just got to get there early, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on out. If not, you know, there's plenty of fun for the family, fun for everybody. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful night here, and the atmosphere is very exciting. Once again, we keep talking about it, but come early, get your tickets, enjoy the game.
And if it's hot, they have fresh cold beer, I think, as well. That one's sent away.
It's
Here's going to be a quick
plus.
throw in by Powell. But even then, we're just right along the river in Cal Expo on the west end of this land here. So it's really cools down even those 100-degree days. It gets pretty nice at night. Nice throw in by Powell, but Braun was just a step behind. Up comes a second chance here. Almost a handball, but turning and powering it through is Adam John, who sends it over the crossbar.
Yeah, tough ball for John to hit, kind of falling away from the goal. Brings it down pretty nicely, but it's a tough ball to keep on target. It's very easy to lift that thing over the crossbar like John did.
And if you can't make it out to a game, remember every USL Pro regular season and playoff match will stream live on YouTube in 2014. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity as well. Subscribe free to Sacramento Republic FC YouTube channel today. Go right back to Arizona here. So Arizona playing at the Peoria Sports Complex. Side of AAA baseball, so they pretty much play on a baseball diamond and cover it up. Here's a slow dribbler to the middle of the field. Into the box to go over the top. Tracking back down is Morrison. Here's Woodbury. He's the one who scored the header to go ahead against the Republic. A foul is called against John.
Not the worst place to concede a foul. That's fine. Slow things down a little bit.
Looking for a streaker down the right side. Coming up with it, headed away. Okafor there. And nice, that was a little bit of a box out by Thompson, who's thrown into the Jiffy Lube sign. And now Clementa will step up, and a few words exchanged. And Thompson says, thanks for having my back, and they step on through. And now things are getting a little chippy from the far side of the field. Lopez is there, he's got to be careful. Lopez has 4 yellow cards, so 1 more and he's gone. And now the battalion getting in there. And a red card is thrown.
St. Cyr gets the red card for the second caution.
So the crowd loves that one. And it looks like it's against Del Piccolo.
No, I mean, it's St. Cyr.
St.
Cyr and Tommy Thompson were battling down in the corner, and looked like St. Cyr gave him a little bit of elbow, Tommy Thompson, and pushed him into the signboards. And that's his second yellow card after getting cautioned early in the game. I think maybe in the 22nd minute. And you know what? That's part of this game. If you get a caution that early, you got to make sure that you're being protective and you're being cautious the rest of the game. And St. Cyr just does, I mean, frankly, kind of a stupid play there to really throw that. The play was dead going out for a goal kick. So sent off, down a man. Now Republic needs to press and really capitalize on this.
Well, especially as we saw it with Powell. Powell got a yellow for it. Here on this end, you know they're going to call it. And when you get thrown to a sign, it just looks worse than it does if there's nothing on the side.
These signboards are taking a beating here tonight.
So here is Gleason. It's a 1-0 advantage for the Republic, and now they have an advantage on the field now as the United drop to 10 men on play. And the United look a little stunned here. They've got to collect themselves a little bit. The crowd is recharged. The Tower Battalion jumping up and down and waiting for the kick here from Gleason. Working out of the corner will be the Republic. So for the United, do they get almost overly aggressive here? How are they going to play this here? Down a man, Kevin.
Well, yeah, down a man, down a goal. You got a lot of stretching, a lot of work to do. And this is a time where you can get caught out very easily if you're Arizona by throwing guys forward.
Here's the speed of Powell. And Powell still tracking. Powell still in the box. Woodbury able to come away with it.
God, Powell's got some pace. Your typical speedster Jamaican. And I tell you what, that is something that is so valuable as an outside back.
And he just flies to the ball.
He's got a big stride. Love seeing him go full speed. It's great.
6 foot, 165 pounds, just 19 years of age. First played professionally at the age of 17. And they really have called him a rising star. They think he has so much potential to do things at the highest level. Don't be surprised if you hear Elvis Powell in the Major League Soccer in the next couple of years and maybe for a decade plus. He really has some talent.
Yeah, and I think he's got good potential up there in Portland to step in relatively quickly with some older guys playing the majority of the minutes out at right back. Just needs to get a couple more games under his belt, maybe just kind of refine his game and his trade. And this is a perfect opportunity here in Sacramento for him.
And that was a shot by Top. Now Braun in the middle of the park.
Got great ball by Roro.
He just seems to play it perfectly.
Great vision.
Every time.
Great vision.
He really serves almost as not only a leader out there, but really almost a point guard, Kevin, if you're going to relate this in terms of
I tell you what, spreading the field laterally like that, it's a big benefit. Now Powell's running at someone because of Roro spreading the field twice.
You almost have a feel for Morrison. Didn't really get a chance to even maybe watch some tape on Powell here at all to see how he would play it.
Exactly.
Morrison's got to be a little bit gassed. He has really been working hard. Here's Braun fighting for it, gets a chance, gets a little bit of space, looking for Thompson, and Braun goes into the net, and he'll work his way out of it. But great idea. Thompson was in the neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. There might have been someone right on the top of the box. Would love to see Braun just cut that back towards the penalty spot or maybe the top of the box. But still, when in doubt in that situation, hit it hard in front of the face of the goal, and hopefully someone's there. Maybe you get a deflection.
And here is Alvarez. Roro coming up. Making a play up toward is Castle. Castle guarding the line. Newton looking as he sees the movement along the line. A nice cross by the Republic.
Great ball in.
Here's Octavio Guzman. Great slide tackle by Castle. Or that was Del Piccolo. Excuse me. United trying to get a little bit more.
I think Guzman pulled up a little bit on that tackle. That's you're sitting, you're holding midfielder. You want to see that guy get stuck in, clean everything out there. Take the foul. Worst case scenario, it slows things down, prevent that counterattack.
And we saw that kick from the corner from Alvarez, and sometimes you see almost everyone thinking someone else is going to get it. Nice steal here by Powell.
Yeah, typically in that situation, you're going to have, that might be the third or fourth poor call by the linesman on this side here. So, oh boy, Brecky's not happy. Clear as day, Rob. We got a great line, a great side of the line right here, and clearly not out of bounds.
Here's a little chip shot, and it'll go on the top of the net, and
But
Gleason will watch it in.
Going back to those corner kicks and set pieces, you're going to have probably, you want to have 3 or 4 guys making runs. Typically, you have someone going right in front of the near post, someone crashing right on the goalie, and someone looping around for the back post for a ball that's lobbed over the top. And then maybe a trailer coming in. And you got a lot of picks, similar to basketball. You guys said pick and rolls almost. And it becomes a high traffic, high congestion area in there. But you want guys crashing hard. And sometimes it could be a great ball in, but some guys get picked and some guys goes down. And fortunately, I think that situation just happened. But it was a great ball in nonetheless.
And here's John. Working over it. Alvarez will give chase and watch it run out of play. Morrison is working. Looks like we now have a substitution. And it'll be Kadeem DeKers, who coming in. He was their leading point getter for the United squad. So he will come in and he will replace, looks like, Okafor. So Okafor is out and DeKers comes in. So DeKers on the season, University of Maryland product, 12 goals in 3 seasons with the Terrapins.
Yeah, it's an interesting substitution, an offensive-minded sub, I think. You know, with Arizona being down a man, typically in this situation, you bring out one of your forwards and have one guy play up top by his lonesome, and the rest kind of maybe fill in with a 4-4-2. But with Arizona playing the 3-5-2, it'll be interesting to see how they kind of adjust in this situation and if they keep somebody up top by himself.
So Kadeem DeKers on the season has 3 points. His goal came early, and he was a guy really instrumental in this. But Jonathan Top right there, and who we haven't seen is Brandon Schwartzendruber. And Schwartzendruber leads the team with 5 points. So we'll maybe see him coming off the bench or not. We've got a couple of Arizona United warming up along the sideline with 10 players. They may have to really change things up because probably conditioning comes in here.
Yeah, like we were talking about a minute ago, having that one guy up top. His job's basically going to be to chase long balls over the top, be a pest up front.
Here is Morrison, sails far right, headed away by the Republic. Right back in, a second ball, and a good chance for United, but squashed by the Republic. And here comes Tommy Thompson, and the crowd's into it, giving chase. A slide tackle, and he tumbles onto the turf and watches the ball falls away to the sideline.
That has to be a call. That's got to be a foul. Thompson does everything right, flicks the ball up over the sliding defender, and gets tripped up.
Especially when you don't even see the ball move in any other direction but forward. And that was the direction Thompson was going.
Right, Thompson did everything right there. John was streaking down way off sides. Got his run going a little bit too quickly. We got a little counterattack here. Alvarez on his left foot.
Here's Alvarez toward the net. Takes it off the hop is Newton and comes out of the box.
Yeah. Good movement by Alvarez there. You'd like to see him maybe get a little cleaner strike on the ball there.
Here's Morrison. And again, the Republic just putting on that pressure. We've seen it from different players tonight. We've seen it from Powell. We've seen it from Thompson to the young guys. Braun's been there. John's been there. I mean, how difficult is it United when you have 4 or 5 different guys really putting the pressure on you?
Yeah, you got to really start just making sure that you have a clear and concise idea of who's coming at you and who's stepping when they need to step.
And so, Kevin, for those who are not big-time soccer fans, where are you looking if you are, you're a fan if you're at the park or if you're maybe watching at home, where is the advantage at? If you have 11 and they have 10, where's that hole going to be?
The hole's going to be on counterattacks, and once they start throwing a few guys forward.
Lopez goes down, no call.
Yeah, once they start stretching the field, Arizona does, and start throwing guys forward, you have a huge advantage on counterattacks. And that's kind of where things get, when the field does get stretched, that's where we really need to capitalize and move forward. And obviously, with one player up top, they become a little less.
Here's Thompson, gets him out of the net, and let's say a handball.
They've got offsides here.
Offside?
Yeah, Tommy, I mean.
Well, he had his hand up, batted it down a little bit too, but they're going to say he was streaking past. But
yeah, offsides before.
Speedy.
Yep. A good run on his front studs. You like seeing that forward movement like that.
So here's Chad Bartlome to replace Adam John. So Adam John will come out of the match. Nice mirror, and here's a late game specialist, Chad Bartlome, who had the header against the United last time. And I don't think the United would like to see him anywhere near the net this time around either.
Yeah, he came in and performed very well in the game against Colorado as well.
And it's a little bit killing time here. And it looks like Octavio Guzman will come out. It'll be George Fochive. So Fochive, Bartlome have come in.
Yeah, I think Precky's looking to maybe get some energy up top with Bartlome, get him running around, become a pest. And Fochive coming in for
Octavio.
For Guzman is pretty much a like swap, player for player, both holding midfielders. Fochive might just be a little bit fresher right now. And plus, you got the game on Saturday to think about, so maybe you're saving some legs.
Working to the 69th minute here, Sacramento. An Emra Clemente header in the 14th minute. And here's a cross. Just sent a little high, but Arizona not backing down. Giving their credit here. They may be a man down here, but they're still pushing forward.
Yeah, you know, if you're looking at the field right now or looking at the game for the last 10 minutes, you really wouldn't be able to tell that they're playing a man down, which says something for Arizona. It says something for Sacramento as well. They need to start taking control of this game. You got a man extra on the pitch right now, and let's start seeing these guys keep the ball, move the ball, and stretch this field out.
Is there always a danger where you start to lax a little bit because you feel like, well, we have an advantage here, we don't maybe need to go as hard?
Right, you might get a few guys thinking they might not need to make this run, might not need to track back because we got an extra guy on the pitch. It's the classic trap type consideration or thought process, and it happens. It really does. You really need to make sure that your leaders on the team. You want to make sure that Braun's the guy who's yelling at people, making things continue to work as they have been working, and even have Preki get up on the sideline a little bit and kind of shout these guys to get their energy level up and keep them fighting.
So we talk about next game because they do play Saturday. They're heading to Oklahoma once again. They lost 2-0 there in their last match. Then they do host the Orange County Blues here back at Bonnie Field July 4th. And so that'll be the next home game for Arizona. They host Orange County on Saturday and then take on the LA Galaxy 2 on Independence Day. And these two squads will meet again on August 2nd. So it'll be the fourth match between the United and the Republic this season. And both leagues considered technically as expansion squads on the year. They're just two of the 5 teams located in the West, and that goes along with the Galaxy 2, Orange County Blues, and consider really OKC Energy, who plays in about the middle of the country. It's about as far east in the West you can get. Here's a set play by the United toward the net, and Gleason played it perfectly, kept his eyes on it, watched it all the way in.
Yeah, Morrison serves a good ball, and he served in a great ball, and I think last time the Republic played.
I think he took one off the hand a little bit there, too.
Yeah, maybe he got stepped on.
And he seems to be okay. So big number 1 celebrating number 24 birthday today has a shutout going against the United. Some of the crowd looking for a calls out there. Woodbury and it's just Del Piccolo getting away with
Woodbury was draped all over Bartlome. I think Precky's getting up on the bench trying to spark some life maybe into the officials to make sure that they're calling these things. Great run.
Here is Thompson. They're going to say offsides.
I don't know by how much.
Some guys, they just tend to be a little too quick and almost for their own good at times.
Yeah, I mean, Precky's not happy with that call. I would tend to agree with that.
Back in the middle of the field, Fochive battling. It's one thing we've seen from Fochive this season. He continues to fight. It doesn't matter what the score is, what time of play, and Thompson goes down again. Clemente to scoop it up.
Thompson got thwacked.
Working right. That has been Descours. So Descours steps in and he's trying to put a little pressure on the United, or with the Republic, excuse me. Sacramento trying to hold on to this 1-0 advantage. Alvarez, a little grab, gets away with it. Top working toward the middle. Some Republic news, Jack Lane was released today, mutual agreement there, so he's no longer with the squad. Away by Clementa. Arizona still getting after it here, and now Sacramento trying to clear it out. Bartolome goes down, and a whistle is blown, and that goes against Bartolome, and a red card?
Don't agree with it. Do not agree with it whatsoever. Both players are going down. There's no malice, no ill will. I don't think it's two-footed. He didn't have his studs up. In fact, I think he pulled his studs back.
And now they're going to call
Don't
over
agree
the
with
trainer.
it at all. Referee had a perfect view of it and still decides to give the red card.
Here it is. And here's the chance. So Bartolome head down. He is the middle of your screen here. Thompson sends it over the middle. And it looks like Bartolome got there first. Bartolome might have been there first.
No, I think it's a poor call. Both players, no ill will, no one's going in maliciously trying to injure somebody. No one's going studs up. 50-50 ball. Both players hit the deck. Arguably even a foul in for our favor there.
Well, it's not even like he really targeted high at the knee or anywhere like that as well.
No, poor decision. And this is sometimes happens too in games when you have a red card earlier in the match. Referees tend to get a little bit looser going to that back pocket looking for the red card to try to even the playing field a little bit. And here it is again.
So there's Ruthven coming up top, and both at the exact same time they hit. And actually, as you see Ruthven holding his left ankle, that was wrapped underneath his own foot there. So it almost like he just twisted it, sliding on the turf. It had nothing to do with Bartolome.
Yeah, you know, don't get me wrong. That's a hard challenge. It really is. Both players are going in, and you know, I think that's not in the spirit of the game to give a red card there at all.
And we're getting even a closer look. And they were right there colliding at the exact same time. So now Woodbury will step up. And so Jack Uviseon now in for, it looks like, Tommy Thompson. And another substitution, as it appears Brad Stisser will check in for the United. He will replace Jonathan Top. The crowd is into it here. Woodbury fake steps back.
You know, whole new match now to think about. Now it's 10 on 10. Back to a level playing field.
Opens it back up, and Alvarez.
And it looks like you're just going to have Braun playing up top by himself, which I love, because this is what Braun does right here.
And he's just holding, and he got to the ball quicker than Woodbury, fighting for it. And now he gives it up on a turnover. But nice job by Braun to track it down. So Bartolome is gone. You have St. Cyr, who's gone, both on red cards. Thompson is now out. He has been replaced by Jack Uviseon. So things getting a little bit interesting here as we head in with the final 15 or so here for Bonnie Field. And a bump against the United. Sacramento will get it back. So they put Braun up top alone, Uviseon, Lopez, Fochive, Alvarez, Powell, Daly, Vukovic, Clementa. So things stalling here in the middle of the field. Both teams still getting after it as only a goal separates them here.
Yeah, it looks like things have kind of taken a step up in terms of intensity Guys are buzzing around a little bit more. You know, last 15 minutes of the match here.
Weather not a factor at all. Beautiful night here in Sacramento. So Tommy Thompson played pretty well ball. Got it. Played the entire first half. Here's a cross high over the top. Tracking, pulling it is Dekers out. And hobbling, it appears to be Clementa. Clementa slow to return. Back to that center back position. Here is Powell and sends it away. So it really has been a fight for the Republic. And now a yellow card, a caution thrown.
So this is a yellow card from when Woodbury had the ball probably about 15 to 30 seconds ago. Alvarez came in and for a little late slide tackle. Maybe nicks Woodbury a little bit. Woodbury gets up, grabs Alvarez, grabs his jersey, gets in his face. You know, at this point, it's almost as though the ref's a little bit over the head here and making some calls, make-up calls here and there. But I don't agree with it. In fact, I think Woodbury might be the ones that should be cautioned as well.
Here's a long throw in, headed away. Alvarez still fighting with Morrison here. Powell picks it up, and Powell will just send it into the stands.
It's getting a bit chippy right now. So don't be surprised if we see a few more cautions here before the end of the final whistle.
And we talk about Lopez. He has to be careful, too, because he is on watch.
Right.
Here's another decent throw in by the United. And again, it will be Powell off the touchline. A throw in for the United. Whistles blow to reset it here. But Sacramento looking for a win here because they're in the battle for 4th place with Rochester. Rhinos picked up a big 4 points last weekend.
And we've talked about it before. You're at home and you got the, ooh.
Going down, no whistle, no blown call. And here's a stiff side through. Nice play by Uvi Seon. And slow to get up is Stisser, who just checked in a couple of minutes ago. Stisser holding his left ankle.
I mean, a hard tackle by Uvi Seon there with a high boot coming down hard on Stisser, I think.
So we go back.
It makes you think why the whistle wasn't blown on that situation as well.
And then Powell will be to throw in. Braun working around the touchline. Circles back.
Here's the tackle here. Ooh. I mean, that's an absolute foul by.
And there goes an end out. Braun goes down and a foul whistle blown. And
it's getting chippy. It's getting chippy, Rob.
And Braun was awfully close to inside the box, just about almost a step outside. No card thrown. Alvarez and Roro will step in. Braun working, they'll put 4 in front, about 10 yards out.
Yeah, Stisser coming in a little bit from behind there. So, you know, this is the decision right here, right-footed player or left-footed player. I like having Alvarez potentially, or maybe Roro just bending it near post low.
And it will be Alvarez. Throws it toward the goal, over the crossbar. A good shot attempt. And it looked like that was the call all the way.
Yeah, it's the same time, similar to the first half where Alvarez on a set piece kind of blows it over the crossbar. Frankly, personally, I would like to see Roro on that ball and try to strike it, bend it near post.
That was Alvarez's last ball on the night. And here comes Dakota Collins. Here's one of the guys you said could be a good energy guy off the bench tonight.
Right.
How will he impact it?
I like Dakota's energy when he comes in, when he's coming as of late. Let's see if he can be effective here in the last 10 minutes or so. And this is a point in the game as a player where Dakota's getting some minutes here and there. When you come in, you got to make sure you put your stamp on the game and do some positive things. Chase the ball down.
Just trying to get his feet underneath him here.
You know, especially in this situation, you got to hold the ball when we have it.
Nice little touch, dancing off to Braun. Braun trying to
well done by
the
Braun.
defense a little bit.
Well done by Braun there.
Roro tried to skirt it quickly over to Uvi Seon. Uvi Seon giving chase. Uvise on a very good dribbler as well, but showing a little bit of speed there. Just trying to get behind the defense. Working right, Dekers. So Dekers, if you said put a stamp on, he's had an impact for United. They've been a little bit more up since he's entered the ballgame.
Right. We've mentioned his name time and time again here in the second half. Fochive just with a late challenge there.
So Fochive in there as a midfielder. He's
quick play
pretty
here.
Strong. Collins just watches the whiff.
United goes down. They had a quick restart right there. Tries to get by Dakota Collins. Goes down really soft. Right call there, I think, by the official.
That was Dekers trying to make something happen. And we've seen it so many times the World Cup as guys just, it's almost like a dominoes. Once a few start falling, they all start falling down, trying to get a couple of calls.
Exactly. I think that goes down to the officiating too. The officials need to make sure that they get control of it. And as soon as if you don't call it, it's not going to happen. If you do call it, like you said, it's going to be a domino effect. And guys are going to see that I can start winning challenges, winning set pieces just by, well, looks like maybe an elbow there. But the domino effect is absolutely true. That once you see what you can get away with, you're going to keep going after it. It's like Vukovic might have caught a hand or an elbow in the face, inadvertent.
Vukovic is up, appears to be okay. Lopez. And here's Powell again. We're almost waiting for Powell just to explode off that right side. Collins giving chase, comes up. Collins can play forward position as well. In there technically right there as a midfielder, as Braun's the only one up, but normally known as a striker for this team. Powell doing a nice job keeping his man in front of him there. Here's Woodbury. Woodbury just trying a little chip shot over the top of the field. Vukovic nearly lets Chuma get behind him, and so now Gleason has a chance. Sends it high, not probably as far as he'd like, and Woodbury tackles it down. Well, we know the possession rate. It was all in Republic's favor, but starting to turn a little bit here late as United has had quite a few chances here in the attacking third.
Yeah, you can see it looks like they're starting to get a little bit anxious with things.
Here's a cross over the middle, and watching it sail over his head is Gleason, a dangerous ball. Sacramento comes away with it, a little tap and go. Uvise running left. There is Clementa, and Braun and Uvise collide.
Yeah, good play by Uvise and Clementa there. Braun, like to see Braun stretch the field a little bit more and let those two guys keep moving the ball up the field.
This one's a soft cross over the middle. Diving Jake Gleason. Could have been a little bit dangerous there.
Absolutely.
Kevin, is that it's just almost that you lull themselves a sense of security there, and Gleason paid attention. His eyes were wide open and ready to catch that one. Looking for Braun. Jake Gleason so far on the year is 3-1-1, has allowed 9 goals, 1.68 per game. Has played 6 games, and there's a whistle thrown. And it'll go back to the United, but Gleason has yet to have a shutout this season. This would go a long way here. See how much extra time is put on, and now Braun is pleading his case to the official. And as a veteran, sometimes you just know when to keep your mouth shut. Here is Morrison.
Real important next 5 minutes here. This is where you want to see some leadership in the Republic. You want to see guys hold the ball, and you got to keep it. When we win the ball, we need to make sure that we keep it. We can't give it away softly, and I think we've seen that in the U.S. in the last few games, especially in Ghana and Germany, is whenever we win the ball, we give it right back, and they're right down our throats again. So you need to have some composure on the ball, slow things down a bit, and make sure you have your guys still working for you.
So now the United has pretty much just thrown away the signs.
Like we said before, the signboards are getting beat up. The round table this time.
Here is the throw in. High, a good ball headed away. Second chance. United controlling back toward the net. Woodbury with a header. Fochive back in, and now it's a foot race. Collins gets a tap on it.
Keep the ball now. Keep the ball, Roro.
Here's a possession, Roro over the middle. Here's Braun, gets Newton to come out.
Yeah,
And just a little bit soft.
Roro knew it as soon as it left his foot, he put his hands to his face as it just came off the side of his right foot. Not a good ball strike there at all.
And a steal. Ubi Seon. Here's that 1-2 counter. Clementa toward the net. Oh, Newton comes out and swipes it in midair.
I tell you what, Clementa's had a great game tonight. From last week, Colorado, I think he had a few guys running at him the entire game. This week, he's completely turned it around. I think he's put in a pretty solid performance. A good effort on target there. Maybe you want him to be a little bit closer to the goal before he strikes it, but that's the distance, that's the angle you want. You want to bend that into that far post if you can. Yeah, almost did it. Good save there.
Yeah, those middle backs closing in as well. Here's Dekers crossing over, and a shot on goal. Sails wide right, looking for the far post, coming and colliding. It appears with Jake Gleason is Chuma, and now Vukovic is saying, come out in a hurry as Jake Gleason is on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like there might be, yeah.
He is moving his left foot, but at a scary moment as Chuma came flying toward the mouth of the goal. And they're going to bring out, it appears, a stretcher. This could be a very serious moment here. And so Chuma came down to the mouth, and it looks like it may have been a pretty bad collision here, Kevin, and a really scary situation.
Yeah,
here, as you never want to have a young
We're
goalkeeper.
talking to the staff here. Looks like he might have caught a knee, Chuma's knee, right across the face as he's coming through the goal.
And so we're not going to show you the replay. It's a very scary moment here, and good sign is that they are taking away the stretcher, and that is, here he is.
Yeah,
just turning 24 years of age today, goes after a ball like that, and Chuma comes across and hits him as he flies through looking for that cross.
Yeah, it just goes to show, I think we talked about it earlier, where you have guys just really crashing the goal mouth as the ball's coming down the side, and the objective of the offensive player is just to hit it hard across the face of the goal. And if you're going to come out, you risk, this is exactly what goalkeepers risk, because they put their body on the line like this, and with the potential to collide with one of the attacking players crashing that goal.
And I'm appearing that he probably has a gash on his head. They've got a lot of bandages to the forehead of Jake Gleason.
You know, the dead giveaway, what you know that it's an issue or a serious problem. So you see Vukovic there. He's signaling to bring. Gleason wants to stay in the game. He's asking for a head wrap here. This guy is.
I don't think you're going to get him out on his birthday here. Yeah, I don't know if Precky's going to allow that.
Yeah, you might want to think about this. We got a couple minutes left in the game here.
Here's Dominik Jokubek, and Jokubek is getting up ready to go here.
Yeah, but you see Vukovic really start signaling the training staff to come out. I mean, it's dead giveaway that something serious has happened. And soccer is labeled as divers and actors and all that fun stuff, which was a whole other story. But when you see that sort of reaction from a player on the pitch that's standing right next to the guy, it's serious.
Well, and the one thing we talk so much about, Kevin, is concussions, right? In football, it's such an awareness. In baseball, even because but in soccer, there is a high propensity for concussions as well. So many guys colliding in air. You have situations like this. And so he is out walking on his own. And now here comes Dominik Jokubek.
Yeah,
and
smart
so
play.
the local product from Lodi, California, will replace here in extra time Jake Gleason.
I think it shows a lot of character on Gleason here. He's asking to come back in the match, but Preki wisely, I think, puts Jokubek back in there.
They're even taking Gleason outside of the stadium.
Yeah, and going back to the concussions, I think there was an issue in the World Cup so far where it might have been a Uruguayan defender gets kneed in the face, kneed in the head, gets knocked out cold, and goes back in the game within 3 minutes. And I think of the FIFA, which is the governing body for the players, essentially said, we need to really think about what sort of concussion tests these guys are given before they're let back in the match.
And so first kick by Jokubek.
And we did see 5 minutes added of extra time on the sideboard here. So we'll see if there's any extra time added for this, as this was it kind of crept into the extra time period with Gleason's injury.
Kochive fighting with Chuma. Chuma appeared to be okay.
Yeah,
after that collision with Gleason.
Yeah, Chuma's getting some boost here. I don't think that was, you know, was no malice behind it.
Nice ball by Daly. Here's Powell. Powell's sitting back a little bit here, Kevin, as we've seen him really be aggressive, a little bit more taking that defensive stance here.
Yeah, last few minutes of the game, you know, I think you're probably right. Last 15 minutes, we really have not seen him really streak forward at all. But you start thinking about the 1-0 lead, start thinking defensively. I like that. I'm a defender, and I think that's some maturity shown by Powell here tonight.
Looks it in, hits it right to Morrison for the United.
Great ball by Roro there. Oh.
And toward the net, toward Newton. Collins was giving chase. Woodbury was there. Keep playing extra time here. 1-0. A shot toward the net. And a nice ball defensively by Powell. That could have been a dangerous play. That was a good shot on goal, to maybe a good cross, try to get something over the top.
Yeah, great crossing, good defending by Powell. Right place, right time. And here, these long throws, they're essentially corner kicks. It's a set piece here down here.
Here's a long throw in, headed away. A second chance, sent to right, far post, and it goes just outside the bar.
Yeah, that doesn't miss by much. But once again, you go back to these throw-ins. These throw-ins are essentially they're as dangerous as a corner kick is, or any other set piece in the attacking third. You're starting to see that a lot in soccer nowadays. Every team's got one or two guys that has that big throw. It becomes a big threat and a nice asset to have.
And Ruthven's did a nice job of that tonight. There's been a couple of chances for the United on those throw-ins. He has really gotten it in there. Second ball nearly found its way into the net for the United. Here's the attack, pushing forward. Daly sends it up. Volleying it is Collins. Sacramento's got to get it out.
You need to keep the ball. When we get it, got to keep the ball. Like to see Collins bring a couple of those down a little better. Have an idea what he's going to do with it before he gets it.
Del Piccolo. Woodbury. Trying to work it inside, looking for a rebound. United. Uwe Seon will track it down and try to see the counter. Here's the counter attack, taking the whole United back on. He's going toward the net, angles toward the middle. Stop, pauses, has some space, and the United
keep the ball now.
Nearly thwarted the attack here.
See,
Collins,
you got to keep the. This is a similar situation. You got to keep the ball. We got 1 or 2 minutes to go. You could have drained out another 30, 45 seconds if you kept that ball there, Collins.
Great pass, crossover by the United. Gets it to the right side of the field. Here's Woodbury. Powell will let it get behind him. Here's a chance, a slide tackle by Daly. And it looks like we may have a corner.
Good tackle by Daly there, stepping out quickly. Like to see Powell a little bit more difficult to get around.
So here is Castle from the corner. Djokovic, arms spread out wide. Kick sent high. The header into the middle of the field. Kochive there, Daly, and that will do it. Match Republic, 1-0 over the United.
Yeah, going back to Dakota, you know, I wanted to touch on this point. Similar to the U.S. when Michael Bradley gives up the ball in the middle of the park against Portugal, they come down and score a goal. I mean, we almost get conceded a goal. I mean, that's how important those last few seconds of the game are, to keep possession, dump the ball in the opposition in your attacking third if you can. Uwe Seon does a great job of spreading the field. But at the end of the day, we get the 3 points. Fortunately, no goal was conceded at the end. Hard-fought, chippy game here tonight with 2 red cards, but a fun night. Fans going home happy again with a win.
I think you could maybe exhale a little bit now.
Exactly.
The nerves continuing throughout most of this match here. And it seems that Sacramento had multiple chances to put it away. They just could not seal it. And man, you could feel that United was knocking at the door almost each and every play, especially the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's a nice ebb and flow to this game. I think Republic came out really strong. Maybe hit a lull in the middle third of the game. Finished strong, finished energetic. Would like to have seen them be a little bit more mature on the ball, holding it, keeping it in that final 10 minutes or 5 minutes. But you know what? Once again, 3 points nonetheless. Love to see what Preki would have to say after this match, but I don't think he'd be too thrilled or too disappointed. I think it's a pretty good performance tonight by the Republic. Could be better.
So the only goal comes in the 13th minute. A corner by Rodrigo Lopez finds Emra Clementa on the header, and that would do it. From that point on, it was a battle between these two teams, United and the Republic again. So we talked about improvement, progression before the match here. They lose to United, they tie the United, and now they beat the United. I think this team is really starting to make some real big steps forward.
Yeah, they've done, I think, if you look at, we talked about it earlier, the evolution of the team so far this season. I think they're really starting to hit their stride, finding out who they are, finding their identity, which it's something that takes some time as a team. And once you do find that identity, you got to continue to build off that. You can't be stagnant with anything, and that's what Preki, I think, brings out of these players day in and day out in training, is to make sure that they're all getting better, working hard, and all striving to really to focus on that same goal, which is to win games, especially at home, which we did tonight.
So the Republic on the season get another 3 points, move to 26 on the year. They are now 8-4-2, 4-1-1 at home. You say you got to win at home. The Republic's doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, good record. You'd like to see that one loss off that column, but you know, at the end of the day, a pretty solid home record. Can't complain with it.
And so, of the day, Lopez again has put at least a point on the tally sheet as he continues to play probably the best ball of maybe any USL Pro player right now. I mean, he is just dialed in. He continues to be a step above as we get a look at the Tower Bridge Battalion still hanging on there on a Thursday night. I think a lot of these people are not going to be able to speak tomorrow at work as they're used to these Friday and Saturday matches, but nonetheless, they have come out strong again. Great crowd here once again, and you have Ivan Mirkovic out again. He really set the tone for this team. They're learning to play without him. One more match without it, and your player of the game, Emra Clementa, and of course picking up his first goal on the season and his 15th goal or 15th game, picks up a couple of points, and he's got to be pretty proud of him. I guess we'll go over to Scott Marsh and
all right,
talk to
Jamie,
Emra
thank
now.
you very much. Down here with Emra Clementa, our player of the game. And Emra, you had the game winner, came early in the contest. Let's talk about the corner kick that became the eventual difference in the game tonight.
All I got to say is about time. I've been getting on the end of them sometimes, sometimes not, but we've been practicing those set pieces at practice every day, and I'm just thankful to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and how about Rodrigo Lopez, another assist tonight? This guy's on fire.
He is. Can't say anything, but he's on fire. He's a great player. Set pieces, he's always dangerous, and just keep serving him in like that, and we'll get on the end of him.
Now, the second half, you guys went up a man. It looked like you were going to be able to protect that lead, but then you lost a guy also. It was 10 on 10. It got pretty chippy, and then they had some late runs there. It got pretty tight at the finish.
It did, but, oh, man, I don't know. It was a tough one, but we just played our game, tried to do what we did, and we came out on top, which is the main thing. So,
how tough is Jake Gleason to get up from that knee that he took to the head late in the game? Looks like he's okay, which is a great thing.
He'll be fine. He's a warrior. It's his birthday today, so hopefully he'll be okay to celebrate a little. I mean, we're going on the road tonight, but he'll be fine.
Not the best birthday gift, but he did get the win tonight, so congratulations. And Emra Clementa, our Bonnie player of the game, congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Jamie, back up to you.
So there he is, Emra Clementa, and he basically said set pieces were the key.
Right. Once again, we talk about it game in and game out, is that, you know, we got a guy like Rodrigo Lopez sitting over the ball. Every player is going to be a little bit more excited and going to have a little bit more bite and energy, crashing the goal. And it's just one of those things that's contagious with the team. So a huge asset having Lopez on there. But, you know, once again, Clementa, I don't think he had the best performance last week against Colorado. Came out tonight, scored a goal, gets man of the match. I think well-deserved. And it's good to see a player with a poor performance come immediately out and have a great performance the following game.
And I thought Powell stepped in very nicely, just a youngster, 19 years old. Tommy Thompson played very well tonight. Here's two guys thrust to a starting lineup against a team that's really starting to come together, fit those pieces together, and I thought they played very well.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get better, too. Once these guys continue to train every day, play a few more games together, I think their collaboration and their cohesiveness is gonna absolutely excel here in the next few weeks with these guys playing and training daily together.
Well, partner, another victory.
Can't complain.
Come back here on July 4th, fireworks celebration. Republic do play Oklahoma City on Saturday, but they'll be right back here at Bonnie Field. If you haven't got your tickets, I think they're going fast. Make sure you do that. Also get a pretty good firework display after that, so it should be a very fun match here at Cal Expo. I want to thank our entire broadcast crew, everybody working behind the scenes that you don't get to see out here today. For all of you tuning in, we appreciate that as well. Tonight, it's a Republic win, 1-0 over the United. For Kevin Goldthwait, I'm Rob McAllister. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We'll see you right back here, 7:30 on July 4th.